It's a talk show on the internet, a talk show from behind the bits. We'll talk and laugh and have a good time. It's gonna be a lot of fun. We hope you have a great time too.
All right, we are back. It's Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, and it is a BTB Internet Talk Show. I am so stoked to do this because I had a rough day, and I get to hang out with comics now. This is fantastic. This is Scott Curtis. The Behind the Bits podcast, as you know, is a serious talk about stand-up comedy. The BTB Internet Talk Show is sheer pandemonium. It's totally different. We're just going to have a good time, and just like the song says, I hope you have a good time too. So let's bring in our guest for tonight. We have Mr. Showtime, David Scott.
Hey guys, how's everybody doing out there in internet land?
We have Joel Brill.
Hey, woohoo!
We have Erin Patrick.
Hey everybody.
And we have PJ Keene. We can't see him, but we have him. It's cool.
Maybe.
So what I like to do is start out the show to make it fun so we get to know each other, even though I'm a fanboy of Mr. Showtime here. Let's introduce ourselves and say where we're at and what we're all about. So, David, I'll let you start.
Oh, me. Mr. Showtime, David Scott. Originally from Queens, New York, by way after LA, Las Vegas, and now St. Louis, Missouri. Been doing comedy for 28 years. In the Guinness Book of World Records for comedy. And yeah, digging it all.
I'm really glad to have you. Thank you for being on the show.
My pleasure, Scott. I'm excited to do this for about 4 days now. I've been boning up on all my Rat Pack trivia. A lot of people know this about me, but I don't talk about it. I was inspired by the Rat Pack. My show is actually inspired by the Rat Pack because when I was living in Las Vegas, the Sands Hotel, which is obviously now the Venetian, was one of my favorite places to go to. And when they blew it up during the movie Mars Attacks, I was actually very sad to see it go. But I love the Rat Pack. I love the way they perform on stage, and my show was geared in a Rat Pack style where the guys on stage were having more fun than the people in the audience.
Yeah.
And I thought myself, if I'm having more fun than the audience, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, no doubt. And you can definitely see that in your comedy. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
Joel Brill, how you doing?
All right, great to be here.
Tell me about yourself.
I live in Los Angeles, in Northridge, California. It's a suburb of LA. Been doing comedy 6 years, a little over 6 years right now. I made a brief attempt at it in 1986, and I actually was doing pretty well. Got into the Comedy Store a couple of times, and I was on their roster. And then the problem was we had a 2-year-old. I had a really good day job, and we were trying to have another kid, and so I had to make a choice, and I went the family route, which was a priority. But I said I'll come back someday. I retired 6 years ago, and here I am.
Now you're full time, baby.
Yep.
Yeah. I've seen your stuff. I like it.
Thanks.
I'll tell you something, Joel. The reason I moved out of LA was the Northridge quake. Is the reason I left LA. I was actually performing at the Comedy Store the night of the Northridge quake, and they asked me to stay for the late show, and I said no, I can't stay. And I took my way home. I was living in Upland, California at the time, in the Inland Empire. And if I'd stayed for the late show, the off ramp that I would have gotten off of would have been the one that collapsed. So I was like, time to move to Vegas.
Man.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you didn't do the late show, buddy. Erin, I know you, but why don't you tell the audience all about yourself?
So I am from Baltimore, Maryland. I've been doing stand-up just a little over a year now. Prior to that, or actually still, I'm a teacher, so I got a lot of experience getting up in front of people and talking. So that's kind of helped me a little bit. Always had a desire to get into the world of stand-up comedy. And luckily for me, living in Baltimore, Maryland, the Baltimore comedy scene was very welcoming. Tons of experienced comics, new comics, giving me advice, talking to me. And that's actually my favorite thing. That's why I was excited to be on here tonight, is I just love talking to comics about comedy. It's my favorite thing to do besides, raising my son, spending time with my wife, and teaching my students. So, so that's pretty much it. And I mean, my comedy's pretty much more of I'm just a goofy guy. I come out with a lot of energy. I'm going to move a lot. I get really sweaty. And probably my two biggest influences are Steve Martin and Brian Regan, who are kind of the same way, just very, high energy, a lot of movement and everything. So, there you go. And I'm not allowed to hang it on the wall, but I keep it close to me. So.
Oh yeah. Love Steve.
Yep. So that's me.
I have to agree. The only thing that is good about this pandemic is it's given me time to get this show going, and I'm doing the podcast and stuff. I'm meeting people like you, and Erin, I believe I met you in the Joel Byers Hot Breath group.
Yes.
And we gotta give Joel a shout out because he's kicking ass during this time and doing the Right 10 Club and the podcast and getting some great guests on and just doing great stuff. So Joel's doing fantastic stuff.
Yeah, and touching on the Baltimore comedy community, that's how I got connected there. Another comic that I'd been on a couple shows with said, hey, if you're looking for something to do, try out this writing group. And I think when I got on there the first day, it was like maybe 15 people. And I think I was on there earlier this week. There was like almost 70 comics working on writing jokes and stuff like that and everything. So yeah, it's all of this is, I try to always look at the positives, and all of this, like, I probably never would have met any of you prior to this.
Right.
I don't know if I would have.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if we got PJ here. Hey, PJ.
Nope. There he is.
Technical issues, and they were all mine. Had nothing to do with the computer.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can
We're
you
just
hear me?
doing intros, and we just got done with Eric and
Okay.
Erin and
Hey, what it
you.
was?
So tell me all about yourself.
All right. Right off the top, I'm not good with computers. I'm really good at getting myself into hot water, but I'm like okay. I'm getting okay at getting myself out of water. I figured out the issue. Troubleshot. I'm here. I'm a comedian from Boston. I'm a student of comedy.
Fantastic.
Now I'm taking advantage of Zoom as much as possible.
Okay.
And there you go.
Okay.
If that starts to happen, just mute me. I'm sorry.
PJ might be using a dial-up modem.
Are you going 56K or
Dial up.
I'm going on. Well, you know how much comedy pays, so I'm going on the best equipment I can buy with the money I make.
No doubt.
Everybody always
Uh,
talks about what comedy pays, and I'm like, what are you guys getting paid? Because I'm not. I thought comedy was at one level, but I'm not. I haven't performed in Baltimore in about 15 years, and I performed in Boston about 10 years ago. Has the comedy pay gone down that much on the East Coast? Just out of curiosity.
So I know for me, for like maybe
You're
not like
being
occasionally if I do, it's anywhere from $10 for like a small guest spot to I think like the most that I've gotten for a spot was like 50, and it was imposter syndrome. I was in the room like I shouldn't be here, but I made sure I didn't say that out loud because I didn't want them to know.
Okay, so the pay has gone down substantially. So now I understand why PJ's internet is shit. So
Yeah. Yeah, really, David, I think the Midwest and like near South are probably the best paying, especially for single night gigs right now. The East Coast, you got to be big because they're all out there, East Coast and West Coast. So you got to be pretty big to pull in the bucks. So yeah, Midwest is where everybody seems to land right now.
I guess to be fair is I don't do a lot of single night gigs anymore. So I guess I'm out of the loop. Because when you say what you're getting paid, when I got into business back in '92 full time, I was in where Joel is. I was living in California, and I was working as the house MC at the Laugh Stop, and then I'd work up and down the West Coast. And as a feature act back in '92, '93, '94, I was pulling in, 125, 150 a show, and you're doing five shows a week.
Mhm.
I guess I just got spoiled. So
Yeah, it's definitely a different game now.
yeah.
So I usually do a fake sponsor right now, but I've actually got somebody I want to shout out, another guy that I've met. His name is Brad Tassel, and he's got a new album coming out with Steve Goody, who is one of Dr. Demento's favorite artists. And let me see if I can get this up here. I'm going to do the trailer first and talk about it a little bit.
In every neighborhood, in every town, there's a spooky house where no one dares trick or treat. An eerie mansion where the owner is never seen, except a shadow by a window or a creak across the floor. A mysterious house used in late-night tales for skeletons, hungry ghosts and ghouls to scare little brothers and sisters into a fitful sleep. It's a dare from the...
Ooh, Eagle, this is not my message. The vampire's ball is a swanky affair. Master, I brought these shovels. Good, Eagle, good. And did you bring my latte? Yes, Master. Skim milk, true splendor. Good, Eagle, good. Let's get started. Oh, yes, Eagle, yes. Raise the platform. It's time. Well, hiding from ghosts. We're hiding from ghosts. Oh man, I think we're toast. We're hiding from ghosts.
Come inside.
And that's that. I actually started the wrong video to start, so yeah, it's because I suck at technology, but that's cool. So that's Brad Tassel, and you can check him out at the what's it called, Vampires Ball Ultimate Halloween Party album. That's actually going to premiere on the 15th, which is 2 days from today, and there's a Facebook page for it. If you just type in Vampires Ball Ultimate Halloween Party album, you'll see that. If you guys know who Dr. Demento is, Steve Goody is one of Dr. Demento's favorites, so this should be really cool. And Brad's a really cool guy. Also, I want to pop in here real quick. I've got a comedy contest going on, a virtual one, with preliminary rounds on August 31st, September 14th, and September 21st, and the championship round on October 5th. Now, the way this works, first of all, just go to the btbpc.com and click on comedy contest. There's no charge to you. You won't be asked for a charge. You won't be asked to bring guests or anything like that. What it is we're going to have 3 heats of 7 comics, and those comics are all going to do 5 minutes. and the comics are going to peer grade each other. So I'm going to give a forum to everybody to grade each other. This is in the style of Four Weddings, which is one of my favorite shows that I watch with my wife because I just love wedding shows. And you grade each other, and then the top two from that grading are going to go on. And I've got some real comedy judges for the October 5th show. And I will say that I am doing no judging. All I'm doing is putting people in the heats and hosting the show, and I'm not judging. So my friends can apply. Anybody that I know can apply. If you're scared, go ahead and apply. So that's what we've got going on. Okay, get my breath.
I felt like I was on American Idol there for a second. I was like next to the graphic going, vote for me.
Yeah, no
Number
doubt.
1.
This is a part of the show where I realize you guys don't know each other. And I also realize that Dean Martin has been frozen since he supposedly passed away in the 90s. And we found a cure for what was wrong with him, and we brought him back. So we're going to bring Dean Martin in to get this party started. Okay. Hey, I'm Dean Martin. How you doing, everybody? This is my Dean Martin dinner party, and I got to tell you, it's a sausage fest. Where's all the ladies? Where's all the ladies? And you know what? You guys aren't talking to each other. So I have brought up some conversation starters. We're going to do a few conversation starters to get you guys talking. And the first one is, I love this one. With which famous person that you haven't met would you want to be quarantined with? That could be living or dead. And let's go to Joel first on this.
Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Or Sophia Vergara.
Mm-hmm.
Or Courtney Cox.
I just saw her.
I'm catching a theme, Joel.
Joel is horny.
No, Joel likes women who like older men. So.
You're going, and I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you an A+ for all those choices. How about you, Erin?
Oh man. Jeez. I mean, I was talking about them before. The only two that popped into mind, of course, were Steve Martin and Brian Regan, because they're kind of like my idols when it comes to comedy. But if I was thinking outside of the realm of comedy, I think I would go with Tom Hanks. I think so, but like not now, Tom Hanks. If I could, we're kind of working in the weird realm here. Let's go with 1980s Tom Hanks. I'm talking like Money Pit, Big, like all of the classics.
How about Bosom Buddies?
Bosom Buddies, Dungeons and Dragons, Joe versus the Volcano.
Yeah.
Before he got all high and mighty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bachelor party was nuts. PJ, tell me, who would be your ultimate quarantine person?
All right. Can you hear me? Can you hear me while I'm? Is everything syncing up?
No. I would say about 70%. So the words are all coming. They're just coming slowly. So if you speak really fast, then maybe it'll all catch up.
Standing.
Can you do Pictionary, PJ?
I'll just say Gary Gulman.
Yeah, that's not working either.
Oh yeah,
there you go.
Gary Gulman.
All right.
I heard Gary. I was like, Busey? No.
Hey, that's a good choice. I got out of character for a second here. I'm Dean Martin. Holy shit, I forgot. I'm drinking. I'm Dean Martin. Hey, thanks, PJ. Mr. Showtime, David Scott. Hey, I'm Dean Martin. Who would be your ultimate quarantine celebrity person.
I just feel like I should. If you're gonna do Dean Martin, you gotta go. Hey, Pally, how's my cats and kittens doing out there, jumping out on the veranda right now, feeling this cool vibes of the ocean breeze, as I have a cool drink in my hand, as the bird flies south and the cuckoos go crazy here at the Dean Martin Celebrity Home Hour. You gotta do. Hey, Pally. Hey, buddy. Hey, good boys. I'm just glad we can all be here having a good time and just enjoying each other's je ne sais quoi company. If you're gonna do Dean, and Dean never drank out of a can, he'd be horrified. Um, Celebrity Jeff Bezos, because all my Amazon shipments would be free.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but if I would, I've had one celebrity crush my entire life, and that's Jane Seymour. So it's a toss up between Jeff Bezos and Jane Seymour. I can't decide which.
I would.
Jane Seymour.
Well, I think I know your answer.
Hands
I know.
down.
Someone got a Viagra prescription right before the pandemic. You just got to use that shit up.
I've met her a couple. I've been to her home a couple of times.
Jane Seymour's home.
Yeah.
You just drove by, jumped the fence.
Yeah. No, I've been there. Actually, I like to say I was in her bedroom and she was in her bed, and it's all true, but she was going into labor at the time. But
That took a big turn.
yeah.
Boy,
Yeah.
boy, you had me going, and then I became a really big bad you porn video. So.
Hey, did Dr. Quinn deliver her own baby?
Yeah.
I'm Dean Martin.
You got it. That's a little bit better. You got to slur the words. Hey, did the medicine woman give her own prescription? So
I tell you what, David, you be my Foster Brooks. Dean, and we'll see what we can do here.
Foster Brooks is a totally different girl. We're here today, right now.
I loved it.
Foster Brooks was, you know that Dean took a lot of his stuff from Foster Brooks.
Yeah.
A lot of the drunk act. I've got a great DVD and CD of Dean Martin live at the Sands a solo show, and it's 38 minutes long. And someone asked Dean, "Why is your show only 38 minutes long?" He goes, "Leave them wanting more."
All right. So if I can't fill my 10-minute set, now I got something to come back with.
It's very true. It's very true. The thing about Vegas, and again, I was back in Vegas in the late 90s, and I was at the Riviera, and the show had to be an hour long. And if you went over an hour, they cut your pay, because every minute you were over was $1,000 that they were losing on the gambling pool.
Yeah.
Yep.
So and you had 3 headliners doing 20 minutes each. So you do 2 shows a night, and it'd be 3 headliners, and you all do 20 minutes. And the first show you might host, and then the second show you might feature, and the third show you might headline, and then you're doing 14 shows a week, and you just rotate, and there's no ego because we're all getting paid the same amount of money. So when Dean Martin says leave them wanting more, he was like going, money's on the floor, guys. No one's paying to see me. Money's on the floor.
Oh, man.
No doubt. And you know what? There's some rumors around that a lot of times my glasses just had water or Coke in them instead of the
Apple
Scotch.
juice. It was always apple juice.
Yeah.
Early on in his career, it was all an act. He was never, ever drunk, ever. It was all apple juice. If you want to know really about Dean Martin, there's a great book called The Way You Wear Your Hat. And it tells this great story. It's about Frank Sinatra, but Dean is obviously involved. And they're shooting a movie called 4 for Texas. It's Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Shirley MacLaine, and they're performing in Vegas every night. Then they're taking a helicopter to the middle of Nevada to film this movie. And Frank was so bored on this flight that he brought pistols, and they would shoot out the helicopter windows at whatever they were doing. So one time they're flying over, and Dean takes out the gun, puts it across Frank's face and starts shooting. And Frank goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, Pally, what are you doing?" And Dean goes, "Don't want you to get bored."
Hey, David, I'd appreciate it if you don't refer to me in the third person, buddy.
you look more like Dean Martin's son.
Hey, come on. He died too.
He did. He did.
All right, let's keep this moving on. Hey, Erin.
Yep.
Hey, Dean Martin, how you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, good. I'm just hammered. I don't know what to do. Hey, what's one of your favorite guilty pleasure songs?
Ooh, guilty pleasure songs. I'll be honest. Pretty much anything by Taylor Swift. It's my go-to. I have a playlist.
Shake it off. Shake it off.
Yeah,
Cake,
22.
shake it
22. I'm feeling 22. No, I don't know why, but whenever I go running, I would try to like all these different run mixes of like high energy songs. And then just one day I came across just randomly like 2 of her songs in a row, and I was like, oh, this is it, because it's like gets really fast and then slows down a little bit and then picks up again. And so now I have a running playlist that says "Running with Taylor." So I guess that would be my guilty pleasure is a little Taylor Swift.
Oh, hey, thanks for saying running because I just got a stress fracture from running. Son of a bitch.
So you're telling me that when the fast songs is when she's in love, and the slow song is when she just broke up and she's ripping her ex-boyfriend, right?
I think so. Yeah. 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 And then also, I guess like personally, because she's from Reading, Pennsylvania, and my dad was born in Reading, Pennsylvania, but they never crossed paths, sadly. So.
All right. Well, Taylor Swift, I never heard of her because I'm Dean Martin. Hey, Joel Brill, what's your favorite guilty pleasure song?
By the way, I would be quarantined with Taylor Swift.
I know. We know. Joel, we know. All right, we know, Joel. We were all being quiet because we're waiting for you and your erection to throw up in this. Okay, we know.
Don't stand up, Joel. Don't stand up.
I'm afraid to mention the name Rihanna.
I can't stand up because my laptop's on my desk, and if I stood up, the desk would fall over. Favorite guilty pleasure song would be "Afternoon Delight."
Of course.
Skyrocket flight.
Yeah.
I'm Dean Martin. I had that 45, you son of a bitch.
I'm surprised it wasn't Baby Got Back.
Yeah, that's too new for me.
Okay.
I stopped listening to music in the early 80s, mostly 70s and 60s.
PJ, if you can get a word in, what's your favorite guilty pleasure song? Waiting.
I think PJ is he's either frozen or he's just really into this conversation.
Maybe. If I'm gonna try one more time. Can you hear what I'm saying or not?
Yeah.
It just came through, buddy.
It comes and goes. It comes and goes.
Did it? Because I tried I tried another device. If you can hear me, my guilty pleasure song would definitely be The Cure, Just Like Heaven. I cannot not sing that when it comes on. Like I'll be washing dishes, like show me how you do that. And I love that song. It would have, but let me preface that after the fact with it would have been Taylor Swift because I can get behind that, and that song by Hanson, that fucking bop that gets stuck in your head for years. that, but I noticed you said that on a. I noticed Dean said that a couple episodes ago, so I wanted to come with something new. So.
Oh yeah,
There
Dean
you
likes
have
it.
it.
And I got to give you some props, PJ, because at my wedding I had to force the DJ to play "Hot, Hot, Hot" by The Cure. Because I
At Dean Martin's wedding?
Scott, I'm Dean. It's me, Dean Martin. How's everybody doing? Oh man, am I drunk?
Did they played The Cure at Dean Martin's wedding?
At Dean Martin's wedding. It's me, Dean Martin.
Where's Jerry Lewis? I need to hit him. God damn it. All right, Mr. Showtime David Scott. Dean Martin wants to know, because I'm referring to myself in the third person now, what's your favorite guilty pleasure song?
There's two. One is from the Little Shop of Horrors soundtrack, Steve Martin's "I'm a Dentist." Cause I'm a dentist. I just love that song. And another one is that no one's ever heard is by Robbie Williams called "Let Me Entertain You."
Ah,
so both those songs when they come on, I don't run, but if I did, they'd be on my running list. But I don't run. So.
And you probably shouldn't. You're too old. So am I.
Oh my God,
Don't act like we don't know Robbie Williams over here.
Who said that? Which one was that, PJ? Because you talk and nothing happens. It's like a voice from the ethereal plane when PJ talks.
PJ's on a 48-hour delay.
A lot of PJ, if you know Robbie Williams, that's actually very, very cool. A lot of people don't know that. So I mean, Joel doesn't know who Robbie Williams is because he can't sleep with him.
I'll try to insert myself 45 seconds ahead in the conversation.
He sounds like Stephen Hawking.
He does. He does.
I'll try to guess what you guys are saying. Just not as good looking. I have an iPhone coming Friday, so tomorrow, and then all of these problems will be taken care of.
Oh, so you're gonna Avengers Infinity War, go back in time, replace this timeline with a version of you that actually can connect to the internet, and then we'll splinter off into a whole new universe. It was really funny, PJ. Just laugh.
You know I'm gonna do that in my dream tonight, anyways. Of course I am.
So if you don't know, Dean likes the Judas Priest. I really got into the.
You know
Judas
what I should do? I should beg. I should.
It's like PJ's like talking like PJ's like a reporter in Beirut, and we're trying to throw to him from Washington D.C. and we ask a question, and then 30 seconds later he replies, and the other it's like going, so PJ, what was the explosion line in Beirut?
The explosion in Beirut was tough. It was hard.
Thanks for playing, PJ. We're glad you're here. Stay safe.
This is fantastic.
I was trying to act like I was in America. You blew my cover.
Oh man.
Yeah.
This is why
I'm a living blooper reel.
You're a living reason why no one should be on Spectrum Wireless.
Oh,
again, man. PJ, it was very, very funny, but you're in Boston, so I think
this is AT&T.
It's AT&T, yeah.
AT&T. This should be a Verizon. This should be a Verizon wireless commercial.
Yeah, on why you should be on Verizon, not AT&T.
Oh,
PJ Key for AT&T. Do you want interrupted cell phone service and not be able to do video conferencing? AT&T.
Do you want uninterrupted cell phone coverage where you no.
I'm going to just try to guess what everybody says. I'm gonna try to insert humor later.
We're just gonna talk, PJ, and then wait 45 seconds for your reply.
Because those dead silences are really good for
This is
broadcast.
the challenge on my end is astronomical, and I'm loving it. I love it. I love a challenge.
Oh my God.
Well, anyway,
you may want to do some editing during the podcast.
And he likes to sing along with the Hell Bent for Leather. Hell bent for leather, baby.
Zoom usually works. Zoom usually works on my laptop.
All right.
Get the hook.
You know what I like most about lasagna is that lasagna is really, really yummy. Let's see how PJ responds to that in 45 seconds.
It's my favorite food, you asshole.
I'm just gonna bring up random stuff. So last time PJ got a pap smear, came back as positive. PJ, how do you feel?
Okay,
about
so it's
that?
not 45. All right, so it's about 7 seconds off. Who would be happy about that?
So now you're talking about lasagna.
What happened to the pap smear?
Oh no!
That's coming. Wait, Joel.
Boy, in the amount of time between asking
We
a
need,
question and getting
you
a
know what?
response,
Comedic
PJ get
timing
another tattoo.
is important. So
It really is. It really is, PJ.
Comedy's all about
It's all about that
timing.
could I?
Wait for
If everybody would, if everybody would give me
timing.
the floor.
Let's just do this. I'm just gonna do a lot of this. Like all of a sudden, PJ's doing like a bizarre not sign. Like what? It's like what, this might be
Oh
why
my
you're
God,
getting
that
paid
was
$10
phenomenal.
a show, PJ. This is why you're getting paid $10 a show. This right here.
Right, PJ, you got the floor, baby.
I'm not from the. I would kill to get paid $10 a show.
I said that like 5 minutes ago.
Okay, so here's a challenge. Can any of you match your jokes to the timing of my internet?
No.
Tell us about quantum physics there, Stephen.
Look. Oh my God. Okay.
I'm telling you right now, this is gonna be the worst podcast in history.
All right. So you're about 8 seconds. You're about 8 seconds behind me.
No, we're so far in front of you, PJ. It's scary.
Did he already change the timeline? Did he already change the timeline?
As a matter of fact, PJ, this podcast ended an hour ago.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny.
Oh man.
Okay, this is going to turn into an hour-and-a-half show just waiting. So we're going to get into what's on your mind. And basically, what's on your mind, you can do jokes, you can do promos. I don't care what you do, but let's have some conversation around it. Let's do some tags on what people talk about.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to go over to David. I'm going to go over to David first, and I'm going to be quiet for a minute. So, David, what's on your mind, buddy?
What's on my mind?
Yeah.
I'm legitimately concerned about PJ. I don't think this is. I don't think it's his internet. I think he's having an episode. I mean, he's literally frozen right now, and I don't think he's frozen. I think he's made himself look frozen, and he's not. And I don't know if it's an act. I don't know if it's a bit, but it's brilliant. I mean, it's Andy Kaufman-esque. No, what's on my mind? You want? Okay, here's the thing. On the bottom of my screen, you see my YouTube channel, Showtime Talks, and I have been for like the last, 18 months trying to figure out how to get more people to subscribe to my damn YouTube channel. So I'm on the road, and even during the pandemic, I was on the road for 5 weeks, starting in almost the entire month of July. I was on the road. I was in Tulsa, I was in Kenosha, I was in Florida, I was in Myrtle Beach, I was in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I was just talking on the road. And I'm asking everybody I know, hey, how do you get YouTube subscribers? And they all said the same thing. I don't know. So if anybody who is watching this right now who is unfrozen can figure out a way to get YouTube subscribers, message me or just follow me or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Because I feel like me. I mean, Joel and I think, are in the same generation as far as like when it comes to we missed the boat when it came to like social media. I started comedy. Well, no, I'm just saying that, I was a graduate high school in 88. I'm assuming you graduated high school in 80, 78, 79. So
70.
yeah, 70. Okay, so it wasn't an insult. We never really grew up with this internet age. We didn't grow up with social media. And I don't understand the trick to it. I truly don't. And it's on my mind. I don't get it. I really don't understand it. I'm sure PJ right now, as frozen epileptic seizures that he is having, has picked up like 5,000 fucking followers because they think he's amazing.
He's a
And
star, baby.
yeah,
Hey,
and I probably lost 4.
hey.
So
First off, I watch your YouTube's channel and I subscribe. The key, David, is full frontal nudity.
I'm trying to monetize. I can't monetize with full front. If I knew that was the answer, I would do you porn. But I would recreate Joel's birthing experience with Jane Seymour. So,
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean your full frontal nudity. Somebody else. Anybody
thank God.
else that you could get.
Yeah, so yeah, that's on my mind. I can't figure it out. Yeah, Erin, I'm gonna throw to you. You seem like a young, hip millennial who understands hashtags and meta tags. So, what do you say, Erin? Scott, you go take a drink. I'm gonna talk to Erin right now.
So I found this book online, 1 million followers. Somebody was posting it. All you had to do was pay $5 shipping, and they sent it to you. I've gotten some good stuff in there. If you just, I mean, honestly, I'm not I wouldn't label myself an influencer. I only have a couple hundred followers on my social media stuff, and but everything.
Okay, I'm gonna stop you right there. I've gotten more than you. So Joel, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have like 1,000 less than me, then I can't talk to you, Erin.
Yeah, that don't talk to me.
No, I'm kidding.
No, what you gotta do is listen to what I tell you, and then obviously do all the opposite of it because it's not working for me. No, but all the stuff that I read about is just now. It's all about it is consistently putting out content every day, and just that's it. That's the biggest thing. The number. There's all different things where you look at data and numbers and stuff, but I'm someone that nobody knows. And I've been able to slowly grow like my followers here, even without being able to go out and do local shows and stuff like that. And it's honestly for me, it's if I'm putting stuff out, I usually see a couple people come in. I have no idea what it's going to be when you scale it up to the number of followers that you're working with and things like that. But that just seems to be the biggest thing I see. But I know there's tons of resources out there. You can look up YouTube videos and things like that where people are, helping you market it and things like that for free. And
right. Yeah. I always find those books like the same importance, like self-help books, like how to be a better father, how to have the best marriage. I go, that works great for you,
Yeah.
but I don't live in a lighthouse in New Hampshire. I can't recreate your love story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
I mean, I really don't get it. I saw somebody popped off somebody named Dino said I've mentioned you porn twice. Well, now I mentioned it 3 times. All right, so you know,
yeah. I mean, in my everyday life, I'm a librarian, so I look at like kind of compiling resources, and that's what I kind of look for. Because, like you said, you can read somebody's, and it's great for them, but it doesn't
yeah,
work for you. Like
yeah.
if somebody's talking about how to go from 10,000 to 20,000 followers, like I just want to go from 200 to 225. Right?
Aaron, that's exactly it, Aaron. That's what you just said is what infuriates me the most. As I go, how do you go from 10,000 followers to 100,000 followers? No, how'd you get 10,000 followers? Tell me that story. Write that book. That's the book I would read. Not how you went from 10,000 to 100,000. How'd you get 10,000? It's
Yeah.
like saying, oh, it's like they always said, oh, that first million, that's the hardest to make. Okay, how did you make it?
Yep.
So hopefully we didn't miss something here. Aaron just said he's a librarian, and I got to say I'm 56 years old and I know how to use a Kindle, so I haven't been in a library for a while. I mean, what goes on in the library now? Do the homeless people just go there to hang out, or what?
Let's ask Joel. Joel, what do people do at the library?
I chase women.
Of course you do.
In LA, the homeless have taken over the libraries. It's a safe space for them, not for anybody else, but for them. And by the way, David, I'm big on social media. I've got a MySpace page.
Friendster? Are you on Friendster?
You on Foursquare?
I twit on Twitter. Actually, I have like 4,900 Facebook friends and just about 600 on Twitter.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I can't figure it out.
I invented Al Gore takes credit, but I actually invented the internet. I started in the internet. I was in the internet business back in 1994, 95. So I kind of know a little bit about, meta tags and hashtags and hash, mostly hash.
Mostly hash.
Yeah, I grew up in the 60s.
Hashbags.
No, just hash. And not corned beef hash. So I don't know how I got it. I mean, I posted a lot of stuff, jokes and stuff, and people like it. It's funny, on Twitter, I did a joke last week about Johnny Depp, and it kept getting retweeted. It's not even that great a joke, but I posted it, and I got like 57 new followers just from that, because they liked it. Somebody retweeted it, and their friends that liked it. So the trick, actually in Twitter, some of the trick, and 500, 600 is not a lot, but I pick up my followers because I put in a hashtag. If I do something about, instead of doing hashtag comedy, hashtag jokes on my Twitter posts, I'll put in something relevant to, hashtag California governor, if it's a joke about that asshole, or hashtag about Mike Tyson. And all of a sudden, people that follow Mike Tyson pick up and get my tweet, and that seems to be a slow road, but it's how I'm getting some.
Yeah, I try to do Twitter. I'm not on Twitter anymore because I'm a visual performer, so Twitter doesn't help me. I'm on
Right.
Instagram, and I've got like 1,200 followers on Instagram.
Wow.
But YouTube is where I think, for me personally, and as entertainers, I think that whether we like it or not, I think that's where the future of where our industry is going to go. Especially when we talk about virtual shows and Zoom shows and stuff like we're doing right now. Um, so yeah, it's like I said, what Scott asked me, what's on my mind? It's like that YouTube. I mean, I know it's not the funniest subject in the world, but it's been on my mind for about 18 months, even before the pandemic hit. So
All right, I put in my librarian skills. Here are the 6 ways to get to 10,000 followers on YouTube. Are you ready? Number 1, create video content that people want to watch. Number 2, create videos around keywords. Number 3, make it easy for viewers to subscribe. Number 4, find out where your audience hangs out online. Number 5, engage with your audience. Number 6, be consistent. There you go. Boom! Knowledge. This is what we're already doing.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Aaron. You could have been the host of an infomercial. You said that
Yeah.
like you rehearsed it. Like you had that ready. That was well done.
You could have been the non-crack addict sham wow guy.
Sham wow. Well.
So basically,
I've been told I give off a very big sham wow kind of vibe. So I've heard that before.
So what you're saying, Aaron, is based on that list, I should be doing nothing but YouTube videos about you porn. Based on where my audience hangs out, things that interest people, videos that are interesting. I only said you porn for that Dino guy. So.
Dino's loving it.
Oh man.
Library lyricist from John Osborne. I like that.
There you go.
I did it. I did a show with John. That was great. So I don't even remember where I'm at as far as what's on people's mind. I think Joel, do you have anything left on your mind besides talking?
David kept talking about porn. I have to tell you.
We can see the reflection in your glasses, Joel. We know what you're watching.
I'm gonna give you $50 just for that, Aaron. I got Venmo the other day. Hang on a second. I learned what Venmo was. Let me send you $50.
That sounds good. It's Erin-Patrick-comedy. Got it.
I'm gonna put down sexy librarian. Whoever gets it, gets it.
Good job. But anyway, speaking of porn, I've done like 10 shows with Ron Jeremy. So that's one of my claims to fame.
Is he a lot of fun?
What?
Is he a lot of fun? I haven't met him.
I wouldn't say he's fun. I would say he's funny if he's sober.
Yeah.
I've been the MC. I've been the MC on probably half of the 6 shows that he's been on, and I literally had to take his arm and walk him down the stairs to get off the stage. You know, he just slurs his speech and drools. But the other times he's very funny. He's always got a little entourage of hot young girls. You know, like 20-something, but hot.
But isn't he in jail because of that entourage?
Yeah, he's in jail. I think there's a really unfair. I mean, he's in jail on $2 million bail. I think that's a little much considering, you know, for $50,000 a murderer gets his bail for a murder. But anyway, what's on my mind? By the way, you mentioned the Laugh Stop, David. That's where I first did comedy. I was there like 3 nights back in 1985.
Was Adam Berenson there?
No. The guy that ran it, not the owner. I can't think of the name. I can picture him. But it was LA Cabaret before that. So I really started at LA Cabaret, and then it transitioned that summer to the Laugh Stop. Yeah. Wayne was ran all the shows. And Jeff, I don't know why, Jeff liked me. So he had me, he goes, anytime you want, just show up, I'll get you on. Yeah. So, but.
He also owned the one in Houston.
Oh, yeah?
The Houston Laugh Stop and the LA Laugh Stop were both owned by the same guy.
His name will come to me.
Was it a short guy with the beard?
No, he was a tall, thin guy.
Okay.
His name was Greg. I don't. It's a long time. A lot of brain cells. Since then. You know, I've been writing religiously since this whole thing started, but I did anyway. I used to write pretty much every day for a couple hours, but I find it hard. The current events suck. There's 3 topics, and I don't like talking current events anyway, because you write a great joke, next week it's no good.
Very smart. Very smart.
You know, I'm an evergreen guy, but lately, for a long story, for a different reason, I've been reading the headlines and shit, and I hate the news. But you know, the news is depressing. You've got the politics, the disease, the virus, and Black Lives Matter, and that's really all that's in the news. It's hard to find, if you ferret through the news, it's hard to find anything worth talking about anyway. And I can't wait to get back on stage. I miss it. I love the spotlight. To quote Milton Berle, I love the spotlight so much. When I open the refrigerator door, I start telling jokes. I miss it. I really do. And I miss some of the camaraderie with some of the comics. And you were talking earlier about making money. You know, LA, if anybody watching this is thinking he wants to go to LA to become a comic and make it big, LA is one of the 2 worst places to go to be a comic and make it.
I've been saying that for years, my friend.
Yeah, oh yeah. And people post, I'm thinking of moving to LA. I go, I think Scott said it, the money is in the Midwest. The good bookings are in the Midwest and the South. And LA and New York City. Why would the Comedy Store pay me anything when Chris Rock will walk in and do a half hour for free? Where, and somebody like Whitney Cummings, who I love, and I've actually been lucky enough to do several shows with her, she'll go to the Comedy Store or the Improv, and they'll pay her $30 for a 15 or 20-minute set. So this just, there's no money here.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, I've been saying for a long time, if you're a comic to LA, you're not getting into comedy. You're getting into becoming an actor.
TV, yeah.
Yeah, it's the same way with New York. If you move to LA, don't go to LA to become a comedian. You can do comedy, but you're not trying to become a full-time professional touring comedian. If you want to be a comedian, you got to be in Kansas City, you got to be in Chicago, you got to be in Minneapolis, you got to be in Indianapolis, you got to be not St. Louis. St. Louis is a horrible comedy town. But if you want to actually work, I'm talking about work on the road doing shows that are, clubs like the Comedy Catch or Comedy Cabana or Snappers or Stardome or whatever, or McCurdy's in Sarasota. We're talking.
That's my favorite club.
Yeah. Les and I are very good friends.
Club.
Les and I have been friends for over a decade. Got to be. I mean, we're not talking about one night. We're talking about shows that go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You got to be where the work is. If you want to break into acting, go to LA. I mean, you're better off. And Joel, tell me if I'm wrong about this, because it's been a while since I've been out there. You're better off if you want to get into comedy going to San Francisco, not LA.
Well, it's better than LA if you want to make it, but I wouldn't even go there.
Just because you have Portland, Seattle, you have up in California, you can tour around. You can go to Pocatello, you can go to Reno. You've got within an 8-hour circuit, you've got major cities.
Yes, and Portland is picking up their comedy scene, and so Seattle, and a lot of casinos, have started picking up the comedy and stuff. But LA, if you come here as a comedian, and succeed, it's because you came here already successful doing the circuit or any other venues.
Right.
So
I'd add Denver and Atlanta to a couple oases where they're really putting out some good stuff.
Yeah, Atlanta definitely. Denver, yes, it's an up and coming area. McCurdy's is great for me because my sweet spot is people 50 to 75 years old.
Yeah, you're a young guy in Sarasota.
Yeah, exactly. But they, those are my best. As a matter of fact, the video I sent you, Scott, was, and the one I submitted for the contest is from McCurdy's. I love their audience. Their audiences, here's the difference. Most of the country, audiences come to a comedy show to laugh. People in LA come to it, it's like, oh shit, my girlfriend made me go, or my boyfriend made me go. And then they sit there with their arms crossed and going, okay, now let's see if you can make me laugh. And by the way, I have headshots. So, you really have to impress me. That's really that, and the LA audience is so hypersensitive. I have a really, really great joke. And I've done competitions and stuff, and people tell me that's the best joke of the competition. And I can't do it in LA anymore because everybody's so fucking sensitive.
Mm.
And they have been. It's getting worse and worse. So.
Well, I understand what's on your mind, Joel, and I really appreciate the fact that you don't do any name dropping. You're a humble guy, and that's what it's all about. I don't even know who Whitney Cummings is. I'm kidding.
She was
Ron,
on
Jeremy, drop. Whitney Cummings, drop.
Erin, I don't know what's on your mind, but maybe you'll tell me. I don't know.
I hope it's a Dewey Decimal System.
No. I could throw out some numbers. Yeah. So actually, for my my master's degree, I had to take a class. It was called the Dewey Decimal System. For
You
each
got a
week.
master's? What the hell are you doing comedy for, you idiot? You got a fucking master's. Be a doctor. Make something of yourself. Shit. You got a kid. You got a wife.
My son got a master's, and he's a rocket scientist.
No pressure, Aaron.
Yeah, it's okay. My master's is in library and media services, so it's
that doesn't count.
Yeah.
You just want to be poor.
Was that from Phoenix Online?
No, it was the local university, Taft University, very reputable.
Lake Erie Medical.
on the cover of a matchbook cover.
Better Call Saul.
Oh man, this is fun. Oh my goodness. Sorry. I don't know. I guess the only thing on my mind is like I said, I love just sitting talking about comedy. I love just hearing you guys that have been doing this for a while. Like I said, I've only been in this for a year, and I'm just sort of soaking up every experience I can take. There was like a show I did right before all this started, where the guy who's running it, he said, "Hey, could you help us hand out flyers?" Before I was like, "Oh, do you want me to bark like out front of the club?" He's like, "Yeah, if you want to. People don't really like it." And I was like, "No, I totally want to." And it's like, I know at some point in time I'll be like, "No way, I'm not going to do that." But it's just, I'm trying to soak up every experience I can with this, because I don't know what's going to happen with this, if how big I'm going to get or anything like that. But I will say the one thing that I am doing, I'm excited about, is I actually am on my first comedy festival, which is pretty cool. It's called the Good Karma Comedy Festival. It's going on this week. A gentleman by the name of Frank Vignola decided to start this up. It's all digital, all online. I'm going to be going on Sunday night, every night this week. It's 2 shows, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. It's just comics from kind of all over the place. And I think they do like a 4 o'clock show where it's like more like a talk show format like this, where they talk about different things. I think today they talked about comedians dating during the pandemic. So lots of fun stuff. So like I said, I'm just trying to take in everything I can with this and talking about the social media stuff. Going back a little bit further in the our talk show tonight, we'd mentioned Joel Byers, who runs the Hot Breath Network comedy group on Facebook, and every day at 10 a.m. We meet, and you get a random word, and you have there's literally a 10-minute timer where you have to come up with a new joke. And then everybody votes on which one they like. You get feedback from each other. It's a really cool community. That's been really helpful to me. And from there, I started doing a thing called hashtag New Day New Joke, where every day I would take my joke, I'd write it, record myself performing it, and then I would post it on social media. And I did that for 100 straight days. And I picked up some followers that way, which has been fun. But the cool thing was, when I went to a live show, I had a couple comedians that I kind of look at it as, bigger names here in Baltimore. And they were like, "Oh yeah, that's Aaron. That's the joke of the day guy." And so that was kind of cool. So just kind of taking everything in the whole world of comedy right now. So, but I get what you were saying, Joel. It's kind of hard. I want to try to write about topical stuff, and I want to be, write the new edgy joke of the day kind of thing. But I'm a dad, so all my jokes are pretty much dad jokes. That's
Good.
it. So,
No,
yeah.
no. Joel's a friend of mine, and I've told Joel this, and he will back this up. The whole trophy husband thing. I'm the one that told Joel that's got to be your show. You've got to make that your show.
Yeah.
Write what you know. Write what is happening in your life. You can't if you've never smoked pot, you can't do a joke. If you've never gotten drunk, you can't do a drunk joke. If you've never gotten kicked in the balls, you can't do a joke about getting kicked in the balls. You've got to write
Yep.
what you have experienced. And if you're a dad, that's exactly what you should be. You should be writing about being a dad, being a librarian, and getting a master's degree at some culinary college. This is what
It's a
I mean.
teacher's college. It's a teacher's college.
Okay, but I'm saying that if you want to move up in this industry, you got to do something that's going to separate you from all the other minutia down there. Hey, Amy, you got to separate yourself from all the other minutia that's happening in the world in comedy, and even Joel to the level curmudgeon. That's a great tag. I love that tag on your shirt. You got to stand out. You got to do something. And I know that none of you have seen my show, but if you had, you understand that what I do on stage is it's meant to be so different than anything else that no one could go, who is that guy who did the bit where he sang with marshmallows in his mouth? They know it's me and they'll talk about it. So you need to do and write and perform what is true to you, not true to something you read in a newspaper.
Yeah.
So I mean, so don't ever be ashamed about I write dad jokes. Don't absolutely write dad jokes. Embrace it. I mean, it'll make you it'll get you a leg up with the other people who've been doing comedy for 6 to 24 months, because that's kind of in the group that you're in, and you want to stand out from those people and become your own.
Yep.
So yeah, write what you know, brother. Write what you
And
know.
Aaron is doing a very good job at that. I've been watching him closely, and he's doing excellent at it. I just want to say what's on my mind is that Kiss poster reminds me that a couple days ago I listened to Parasite 3 times in a row, and I'm listening to a lot of Ace Frehley solo stuff lately for some reason. I don't know what. I don't know. New York Groove. That's a great workout.
Check out his duet with Paul Stanley called "Fire and Ice."
Yes,
it's great song.
Yeah, that's one of them. That's one of them I've been playing.
I'm not sure if I can. I'll try to show you this real quick, but it is all Kiss. Let's see.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
So it's all Kiss.
Is that a music group?
No, that's Captain Zeta Jones's website.
An orchestra. You young kids.
Here, let's see if I can tie this all together. This is one of my dad jokes that I did recently. It was like, how do you receive a kiss from a rose? With sealed lips. There you go. There you go. Tying it all together. Nice.
So then what you got to do is you got to put like 8 of those together in one long string.
Yep.
That's what you do. You take 8 of those jokes or 10 of those jokes, just rip them off. Just boom, 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 boom. And I
like tag it before I say I tell a joke about my son saying how I gotta tell him stop licking the floor for the 3rd time this week, and it's only Wednesday or something. But then I say one of my favorite things about being a dad is this obligation to tell dad jokes, and because before I've done that, like just dad joke, and I feel like people get tired. But when I like give it that little preface of like, this is something I have to, like, prepares them, and they're like, okay, here it comes, and it's just boom, 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 and you just kind of keep going with it. So, but like you said, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to lean into that. I'm still trying to figure out what my comedy voice is, but I thoroughly enjoy telling jokes about my son, being married, being goofy, and
the rule of comedy is you do it until it's not funny, and then you keep on doing it until it's funny again.
Okay. I like that.
So
I like that.
So if you're doing dad joke, you do 3 dad jokes, they get big laughs. And then you do 3 more, they don't get big laughs. And then you do 3 more after that, it gets funny again. It's funny, what the fuck? And then it's funny again.
Yep.
So you do it until it's funny again. It's all about pushing if you're going to be on stage and you're not pushing the envelope, then don't be on stage. You know, Richard Pryor said it the best. And this is not my line. This is totally Richard Pryor. He says there are 3 stages of comedy: joke teller, storyteller, truth teller. So you right now, my friend, are in the joke teller part.
Yep.
Embrace it.
Yeah.
In a few years, 5, 6, 7, 8 years now, kind of where Joel is right now, you'll be in the storyteller mode.
Yeah.
And then, and like I said, I've been doing this for 28 years. I've been performing since I was 5. So now my show has more of a truth teller joke, a truth teller vibe. But I've also built up a reputation over 28 years to do more of the comedy that makes me happy instead of the audience happy. So
Yeah.
so embrace.
Tell me what the difference between truth telling and storytelling, because like I've segued out of telling and moved into storytelling, but my stories are mostly truth.
Well, no, it's not okay. Truth telling does not necessarily mean funny. George Carlin is a great example. Bill Hicks is a great example. They are telling truth, which, okay, even better, I'll go modern. Dave Chappelle is a great example of a truth teller. He's not necessarily trying to go for the laugh. He's trying to go for a point. He's trying to make a point or tell the truth, open up the curtain, pull back the skins of the onion, and shine a light on the truth. So I do truth telling, but I do it in a very funny, humorous way because I'm not political. I don't do current events. I don't do topical humor. But when I'm talking on stage, there is a truth to what I'm saying. Like Erin, it's like fun. It's really fascinating to me to see both you and Erin, because Erin, you're looking at Joel's that's where you're going to be in 6 years, moving from the joke teller to telling stories. And when you're telling stories, and Joel, if I'm wrong, please tell me, you're now doing jokes or bits that are 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes long, instead of doing jokes like Erin, which you are like 30 seconds long.
Yep.
So you're doing like 10, 30-second jokes. Joel is doing 5-minute bits. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
Yep.
that is the transition from joke teller to storyteller. My show is like an hour and 20, and it involves both joke telling and storytelling, but it's surrounded in this bubble of truth. And comedy is about manipulating the audience into your truth, into what you want the crowd to believe. So if you're on stage for 5 minutes, or Joel, you're on stage for 30 minutes, that's your time to take the audience and manipulate them into your truth, whatever it is, whatever it is.
Yep.
So
I got a really good. I interviewed Dr. Peter McGraw, who wrote the Humor Code, and I got a really good analogy from him on comics. You're either a thermometer comic or a thermostat comic. And what that means is if you're a thermometer, you're just saying what's going on. This is what's going on in my life. This is what's going on in the world. If you're a thermometer, you're pushing the envelope a little bit. You're saying, hey, you're thinking in this fashion. Let's see if you can think in another fashion. And you're turning up the heat to make that happen. I really like that. And I apply that to my writing now because I want a little bit of thermometer in there, even though I'm a lot like Erin. I'm super clean, even though, I mean, in my real life, I swear, like my phone, if I type the letter F, it goes right to fuck because yeah. But on stage, I am not comfortable doing that for some reason. I don't know what it is. So I just say super clean, and it's worked for me. And I've tried going blue, and it doesn't work. So
you'll be more successful if you are a clean comedian, because any clean joke can become a dirty joke. A dirty joke cannot become a clean joke. It is absolutely impossible. I consider myself I'm not a dirty comedian, but I've done the triple X-rated show at the Riviera, and all you gotta do is add a couple of words in. But those other comics can't do my show. because they can't take out the words because they wrote it dirty. You can't take it clean. I've written dirty jokes that I cannot do on stage because there's no way to make them clean. There's just it's impossible. It's impossible.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll make more money, be more successful. Club owners, club bookers want clean. And then when you have a name for yourself, you do whatever the fuck you want on stage. But you want to become successful now, work clean. Club owners want clean.
Yep. And that's why, like, when I first started going to like my very first open mics, I had like the storyteller, like, all right, I'm gonna do my whole 5-minute set is gonna be one long bit that all comes together. And I did okay with it, but when I started to actually get booked on some shows and get more positive feedback was when I started to do things like break down and actually write jokes. Because I started going to open mics without knowing how to write a joke. Nobody ever told me. I just had funny ideas, and I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds funny. But then, especially when I did like the writing thing with the Hot Breath community, where I'm now writing essentially a one-liner dad joke every day, I'm learning how to do that. So when I'm in my everyday life and something funny happens, like we just moved to a new house, and I'm updating all these online forms, and for some reason it auto-fills every one of my zip codes with the word Caucasian. And I'm like, oh, okay. So my wife and I wanted to know what the demographics were. So when we typed in zip code, it came up Caucasian. So it's like now I'm thinking of how to turn that stuff into a joke. And maybe it's not the best version of it, but right. I can, because it gives me something to start with. And then I can either add something or take something away, or I can start to see jokes connect together. But you got to break it down to the smallest form. And it took me a while ago. I mean, I say a while. I've only been doing this a little over a year now, but it took me about 6 months to really stop and reset myself and say, yeah. And the other thing is the easiest jokes for me to write are blue jokes. Like, you know, just because it's
lowest common denominator.
Yeah. But what I started to realize was when I went to shows and open mics, the people that were getting the bigger laughs aren't doing those jokes. Sure, they might get one big laugh in a 5-minute set, but the rest of the time it's crickets. Whereas the other, I'd rather have you, laughing the whole time along with me, rather than that 1 5-second burst of laughter and then 4 minutes and 55 seconds of nothing. So
a joke is like a piece of clay. It really is. If you think about a piece of clay and you got to mold it and you got to shape it and you've got to manipulate it, and then sometimes you got to look at it and go, nope, doesn't work. Smash it back up and start again. Yep. There's no one way to write a joke. There's no one correct way to come up with the bit. It's all individual. But the key is, and I've told this to Joel, and I'll tell it to anybody, you've got to write what's true to you.
Yep.
You've got to write what's true to you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this has been fun. We went a little over, but it's been the conversation's been great. We had fun, and then we talked shop a little bit.
Every time Joel made a face, I thought it was at me.
And I like how when we pointed out his glasses were reflecting his screen, he now no longer is wearing them.
He took them off. He thought he was being real subtle. He was like, oh, when I was talking about, what do you mean exactly when you mean storyteller? What does that mean?
You got to turn down the brightness on the screen, Joel, and then you can keep them on. See, look, here you go. Look, all the way up. All the way down.
Where did PJ go? I just realized he's gone.
No, he's been here the whole time. We just can't see him or hear him.
Yeah. I tried to let him back in. It wouldn't work.
This was fun. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
It was nice meeting all of you.
You guys get a chance to plug your any of your social media. I know David's going to want to talk about his YouTube channel. So
do we have 5 more minutes?
Yeah. Let's go around and plug the social media websites and all that kind of stuff. And then I've got a writer's workshop to do here pretty quick. So let's do it.
Okay. Showtime Talks, youtube.com/Showtime Talks, or visit me on my website, www.alwaysaskformore.com.
Excellent. Joel?
I'm on, Facebook, Joel Brill, Twitter, Joel Brill. Instagram, I barely use it. It doesn't make sense for my stuff, but I'm starting to use it a little more. Again, Joel Brill, and MySpace is Joel Brill. So.
The thing is, I no longer think you're joking. I think you're dead serious. Fuck it. I'm going to MySpace right now. Screw you, Joel. Going there
I
right now.
actually
I'm taking
have-
the goddamn name. I'm taking that.
I'm actually on there just because I use this joke.
That's
I put
commitment, Fred. I respect
put my
that.
name on it.
I
Yeah.
respect that. I respect it. Commit to the joke.
Hey, you know what happens when you get kicked off the top person in TikTok? You get
What?
back to MySpace because you got to do it all over again. One of my jokes.
Good.
Erin, tell me about your stuff.
So I just have it in my name below at Erin Patrick Comedy. It is ERIN. That's not a typo. My mom says it's because we're Irish. My mom just really wanted a girl, really bad. So
Well, you are a librarian, so they got close.
yeah.
I was getting excited when I heard somebody named Aaron's going to be.
No wonder Joel's like,
I have some interesting birthing stories too. But yeah, so I'm just Facebook, Erin Patrick Comedy, Instagram, same thing. Twitter, it's just for Erin Patrick CMDY, just because it couldn't fit on there. But yeah, I did try. Actually, speaking of TikTok, I did give that a try on the advice of another comic. Very interesting community on there. Tons of different ways of doing comedy that I kind of picked up some tips and tricks, but didn't really catch on as much as I would hoped it would. So I kind of stopped that now. But again, I'm still just doing the hashtag new day, new joke. It's not every day now. Once I got to 100, kind of gave myself a little bit of a break. But whenever a funny thought comes to me, I'll record it and post it. And then again, just doing the Good Karma Comedy Festival. It's the website for that is, let me see, it's goodkarmacomedyfestival.weebly.com. And then I'll be performing on there on Sunday night at 9:00.
I tried to do TikTok and I signed up for it, and I got an email from a guy from China asking if I knew anybody at NASA.
Was it Jeff? Did you get it from Jeff? Okay, yeah. No, it's a very interesting community, but again, it seems like to me is when you start out, if you can get a bunch of hits right away in whatever their algorithm is, that because there was another guy who was literally doing the same thing to me. He did dad joke of the day, 100 days of it, and by the third day he had like 25,000 followers, and I had 25. So I was literally using the same hashtags. We're posting around the same time. I couldn't figure it out. But yeah, that was it. So that I couldn't figure that one out, but still working on the other ones.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys being on. I want to plug the comedy contest one more time. So that's the Behind the Bits comedy contest. I know Joel and Eric are both signed up. Well, you've given me a submission. I haven't let you through yet. But if you want to see how to submit for that, just go to the btbpc.com and click on comedy contest right up at the top. And basically all you got to do is email me your info and a link to your video and you're good to go. I've gotten quite a few submissions. A few of them are definite no's. So I got to make sure that those don't go through. So I got to get enough to make.
Whoa, hold on. You can let a couple of those definite no's through. Unless I'm one of them. Then yeah.
You guys are okay. I promised. I promised in my rules I wouldn't share stuff, but I've shared my wife a few things because it's weird.
I show my wife some weird things too.
I say that one video. It wasn't meant for the contest. I'm sorry. It was a mean a lizard.
I'm not letting you through because I'm jealous. It's a whole size thing. I just you got the length and the girth. I'm pissed.
Yeah, I'm Jewish from the waist up.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys being on. This was a really fun time, and we learned too. So this was a great time, and we'll probably see all three of you back sometime because you guys were all very entertaining.
I'd love it.
Thanks.
Remember to return your library books on time.
No doubt.
Yeah. Let's just all big shout out to PJ. I think he really brought the show together. Really, just the cement.
PJ. When you get some internet, buddy, I'll have you back on.
Some internet.
Bandwidth.
Yeah, it was great. It was great meeting all of you. Hope to see you on the road.
Yeah,
next
this was a
time.
lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
All right,
Thanks.
guys.
Bye-bye.